There's not going to be a thief breaking the windows or breaking down your door, stealing your safe or stealing your money or stealing your credit cards. That's not going to happen when you've got an apartment community. Welcome to the Heartland Multifamily Show, the shorter, more profitable path to multifamily ownership and investing. Hey, Darren Garman here. So let's get right down to it. So for those of you that don't know who I am, and you're wondering, what's this all about? I saw the headline, or somebody told me information about hiding money. So who are you and what's this all about? Let me give you just a little backstory first, and then I'll jump into why people are contacting me to hide their money. So again, Darren Garman. I've been involved in the multifamily ownership world going on 30 plus years now, and oversee and own myself along with partners tens of millions of dollars of multifamily property in heartland of America. As I said, been doing it well over 30 years, and have worked with literally hundreds of investors over the years to own their own multifamily properties here in heartland of America. So that's kind of my quick backstory. Okay, so where am I going with this? What's going on? I've had, especially recently, as we get towards a couple of things. One is election coming up, and depending on when you listen or watch this, the presidential election for 2024 will be either still on its way, or it's all said and done. So that's number one. But what I'm going to tell you is going to apply no matter when the presidential election happens, but it's just a good measuring point for what I'm going to share with you about why people are hiding their money and why they're contacting me to hide their money. So that's number one. And we're going into a new year. Again, depending on when you listen or watch this, it's not really going to matter what I'm going to tell you, but it does give you an idea as to why there's an uptick in this question of, Darren, I want to hide my money. How do I do it? So what are we talking about here? What's going on? Let's jump right into it. The reason why people are contacting me, first of all, it's not for the reason that you may think. So it's not because someone's up to something nefarious or illegal. I'm not getting contacted by anyone or anything that wants to launder money or hide, do anything like that. So this is not an illegal kind of thing. When I say hide money, it's a real kind of thing. I'll tell you about it in a second, but it's not an illegal kind of thing. So I want to make sure that you understand that's not the frame I'm going to be talking to you about, or where I'm going to be coming from, or what's going on. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, or more importantly, it's really about where can I put my money, basically hide it in a place where it's insulated, where it's protected, okay, where it gives me a great rate of return, where a lot of people don't really know I've got it there. It's not like I want a bunch of people to know that this is going on for various reasons. A lot of people want that to be the case. They want a lot of confidentiality, okay, and in addition to that, they want it to be safe and secure, okay. And so in a lot of people's minds, when you talk about that, they think of hiding money. Like, for example, you could compare it to a safe. Okay, you can compare it to a safe deposit box. Okay, so that's kind of hiding money. But a lot of people are contacting me and thinking that what I've been doing and what Heartland of America Multifamily can do for them is essentially hide money. And so here are the reasons why that this is coming up and the reasons why they're thinking about this. So number one, insulation and protection. And so when you own, let's just say your own 200 unit apartment community, you're not going to be broken into. So there's not going to be a thief breaking the windows or breaking down your door, stealing your safe or stealing your money or stealing your credit cards. That's not going to happen when you've got an apartment community. Not going to happen. Same goes with like cyber security stuff. They can break in. Hell, they can break into your CD at the bank and manipulate it if they want to bad enough. That's how things are out there, especially on the dark web. So they can break into all kinds of accounts they want electronically, but you can't break into a 200 unit apartment community. You can't really do that and really steal anything from there. And so those are two big things, especially in the world that we live in today for a lot of people. And then there is hey, I've got all of this capital or a certain amount of capital I've worked really hard for. It's come to me and I really want to protect it. Okay, so insulation protection, but also when I protect it, I want a good rate of return on it as well. Well, multifamily, especially conservative kinds of multifamily property, it's got the income, it's got the cash flow. But in addition to that, you've got tax deferral and tax savings, income tax. So you can use depreciation and interest deductions and you can have an income, but you can show a loss, a legal loss on your tax return in many cases. And then there's also the tax deferral part of it. So when you sell a multifamily property here in the heartland, you can take those proceeds and you can put them into another investment real estate property and you can defer capital gains taxes altogether. Okay, so again, when you throw those things, kind of mix them together, in a lot of people's minds, it comes to, well, I mean, I'm kind of hiding money that way, but I'm doing it in a way that, like I mentioned before, it's legal and it's also strategic. It's legal and it's strategic. Okay, and that's why I get calls from people that basically say, Darren, I gotta like hide some money, and here's what I need. I've worked really, really hard for this capital. I want to take all of it, some of it, and I want it somewhere where it's protected, where it's insulated. Hey, I want it to be confidential. I really don't want a lot of people to know what I'm doing, what's going on. So it's like, as a side note, I have a lot of partners that, I mean, you'd know their name, you would know who they are, because they don't want that. They don't want that kind of, publicity or exposure. Then there's the rate of return. There's the tax savings part of it. There's the tax deferral part of it. And, you kind of put all this together, and it is all about, in their minds, hiding money. So what's the point here, Darren? I mean, I guess I understand what you mean by hiding money. I guess I understand, what the foundation that you're laying. But so why is this such a big deal now? And that's really the main point I want to tell you. I'm getting an uptick on this, and I always get upticks on this when there's a lot of uncertainty out there. That's not a surprise when there's a lot of uncertainty out there. So I mentioned presidential election coming up. I'm getting more and more and more inquiries about what's going on there. What are you doing? Is there a way I can strategically use what you do, at least for a few years? Okay. There's a new year coming up, and who knows what's going to happen. As you know, there's a lot of economic uncertainty out there. Okay, well, knowing that, how can I hide and protect? And there's that, and get good returns, some tax savings, tax deferral. There's that. Then, of course, there's a few conflicts going on in the world out there, wars in more than one place. Things escalate more than one place, and if there's one thing that's pretty certain is folks will continue to want to, need to, and in many cases they're going to have to rent apartment communities, and a lot of folks it's also very convenient for them to do it. They like that, and matter of fact, a lot of people like that, and so you put all this together, and you can see. Again, why the hiding the money comes up. But the big point I want to make to you is not only the benefits and the reasons why people contact me and want to have this discussion with what we've done with, Heartland of America real estate, especially multifamily. But the big point is it's because of uncertainty. When levels of uncertainty start to get to a fever pitch, especially for people that have worked very, very hard to obtain whatever wealth that they have, this becomes front and center which is why I get these kinds of phone calls and these kinds of inquiries, especially during times like presidential elections, turn of the calendar into a new year, wars going on, economic things going on, etc. And so I thought that you would find that interesting. I thought it'd be something I would share with you. And look, if you want to know more about what this is kind of all about, what's going on, down in the comment section, you'll see contact information there and more information. It's at no cost. There's no, I'm not out there trying to get any business with this. It's just information that I think is important for people to know, not only as an alternative, obviously, but here's what's going on out there. People are looking to hide their money, place their money in places like this, and these are the reasons why this is going on. And maybe in some way, somehow, this can be applicable to you, your financial situation, or maybe somebody that you know, their financial situation too. And by the way, if you've liked what you've heard in this video, in this movie, feel free to subscribe to my podcast, get connected with what we're doing and how we're doing and what we're doing here. I think you'll find the information and the content, I think, to be helpful to you if you found this to be helpful to you. All right, take care. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. If you enjoyed this video and you want to make multifamily a bigger part of your investing world, make sure you click here on this video to discover the 3 easy ways to invest in and own your own multifamily property.